mystical magical creatures and my creatures of the night. Got another TBT for you, and this one is fairly similar to my goth tag, being so that the second question to the goth tag was, how were you introduced to the goth scene? And I gave a really quick answer, and I just felt like that question really needed its own video, because that was something extremely personal and extremely life-changing for me, because I mean that was truly the turning point in my life. So I thought I'd make this video and expand on that for you guys. So here I am making the video. Alright. If you didn't see my goth tag, you might want to go onto my page and, you know, watch it. So that way, you know, you can kind of get a feel if you're watching me for the first time. And I mean, while you're on my page, you might as well hit the subscribe button, right? Become a creature. Alright, so me being introduced to the goth scene was quite a long story, because I mean, I have to tell you my whole life story, really, but you know, I'm not gonna do that. You don't want to hear about my life, but I'm just giving you a quick skim. So, you know, in middle school, I had already started to listen to rock music and stuff like that. You know, my music taste was heading towards the louder direction instead of the hip-hop loud. You know, we were going for like guitar solos and all that, drum solos and everything, just craziness. And so, my freshman year of fashion high, I was, you know, musically searching, and you know, I came across a lot of music, including Black Veil Brides. Now, before you hit the X button and be like, no, she watches Black Veil Brides. No, I don't listen to them anymore, but I did in the beginning, because at the time their music spoke to me, and for me the big part about music is the lyrics, and if I can attach myself onto those lyrics, meaning if I can understand and feel the pain, and I think that that artist knows my struggle, I'll listen to you for like ever. Now, that was Black Veil Brides for me at the moment. I didn't listen to Blood on the Dance Floor. I've only heard like one song, and it was because my friend was trying to kill me. But, you know, yeah. So, you know, my music taste was changing. And then, the way the High School of Fashion Industries is set up is you don't take a fashion class your freshman year. So I just had like basic classes really, and an art class. We had art. And so fast forwarding to sophomore year, I had my first official fashion class, and we were basically just like working with muslin. Muslin's unprocessed fabric, and you know, we're just learning basic stitches and stuff like that. And as we're doing this, you know, our teacher's telling us these things like every designer has their category, you know, and the categories are, and she would be like, what is it? Formal attire, casual streetwear, and just like going down this list. And I would sit there and I think like, maybe I want to make lingerie? Maybe I want to do casual streetwear, you know, something everyone can wear. And I really wasn't sure what kind of style I wanted to like master in as a designer. Yeah, so it was really troubling to me that I couldn't find a fashion that I liked in all of these trendy magazines and all these fashion shows we'd have at school. I didn't really see anything that connected with me on that inspirational level. So it's a regular day. My train buddy, the girl I take the train home with, wasn't in school that day, so I figured, you know, maybe I'll just wander around the city. And the city is Manhattan, you know, the Big Apple and all that jazz. It's a big famous city, so why am I not gonna wander? So the High School of Fashion Industries is on 23rd Street between 8th and 7th Avenue, and for the longest of time, me and my friends would always go towards 42nd Street, where like all the lights and the action is, but I'd never gone the opposite way, like to the lower numbers, so I decided to walk. And on this walk, I passed 14th Street, and I just kept going, you know, just really thinking to myself, listening to my music, and, you know, just really thinking about fashion and the kind of stuff I wanted to do. So I'm walking, and I'm following a crowd of people who look kind of trendy and cool. You know, they got the colored hair, and you know, they got spikes and stuff like that, and collars, and I'm looking and I'm like, these people look interesting. I'm gonna follow them because I'm creepy like that. And my style wasn't too different from them. I mean, my hair wasn't purple yet, but I did dress in darker colors, like I would wear brown, dark, like deep neutral colors like brown, dark greens, and earthy tones, grays, and blacks, of course. But you know, I didn't really have style with it. I would just be wearing pants and a shirt, really. And yeah, so I didn't wear makeup because, you know, I was too young and I didn't know what to do with it at that point. But so I'm following these kids, and they walk down this strip, and I notice the sign says St. Mark's Place. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my god, did I just stumble upon like one of New York's historical landmarks? And being the geek that I am, when I get into something, I research it. And when I started listening to rock music, you know, I researched historical facts on it, and I've come across this famous place many times when reading albums to like the Beatles. They have a music video where they're actually on this place, St. Mark's Place, and you know, there's a bunch of songs named after St. Mark's Place by many different artists. And just Wikipedia in St. Mark's, you get a whole category, I have it on my phone now, of just musical history behind it. And it says here, the very first one is, in the video for the Rolling Stones, Waiting on a Friend, Mick Jagger and Peter Tosh are seen sitting on the stoop of 96 98th Street, St. Mark's Place. Jagger later mentions 8th Street. If I'm gonna read, I have to put on my glasses. Sorry if this turns anybody off, but you know, whatever. So next one that caught my eye was where is it? Oh yeah, the New York Dolls. I don't know if you know them, but they're great. You should really listen to them. Has pictures standing in front of Gem Spa, which is another historical landmark of St. Mark's. Now that's enough with the Wikipedia facts. I can go on for days with Wikipedia and St. Mark's history of music, the place where it all happens, which happens to be a historical landmark. So I'm just like, the universe was in my favor upon this day. And so you know, follow these kids. I notice I'm on St. Mark's, and I'm like, oh god, I'm in a historical landmark, and I'm walking, and I see this beautiful goth couple outside of Trash and Vaudeville. Trash and Vaudeville is another historical landmark, the only Trash and Vaudeville, you know, in New York or like anywhere. Everyone loves going there. If you're an 80s, 90s metal band, you go to Trash and Vaudeville. If you are wanting to sound like an 80s, 90s band, you go to Trash and Vaudeville. If you're just a lover of spikes and everything, it's like think. It's just a store, 2 flights. You have to go outside to go upstairs. I'll probably insert a picture of what the outside of Trash and Vaudeville looks like. But yeah, so Trash and Vaudeville is another historical landmark, and these people that I saw happened to be standing outside of this place, and the girl, it's a couple, the girl is wearing this beautiful Victorian dress, you know, the whole shebang, 9 yards, like, just beautiful kind of Cinderella gown, black lace trimmed dress. And I'm looking at her, she has her parasol, and you know, she has her mini top hat tilted to the side. Her hair is like in this kind of sloppy, wrinkled kind of bun updo thing. I don't know what it's doing. And she has the curls hanging down from her sides. You know, she's beautifully pale. Her fingernails are beautifully black, and oh my god, her makeup, don't even get me started. Her lashes, her eyelashes were on point. Never will my eyelashes ever be that gorgeous and natural looking. But she had a collar with a chain, and so I was looking at the chain collar, and the guy's holding it, and he's just like her total opposite, just like full-on spike goth metal guy with the big mohawk, like magically gelled to just go straight up his head, and it's like this green color, green purple fade going on, and I'm like momentarily mesmerized by his mohawk. And then I'm looking at the rest of him, and he's just like this nice broad-shouldered slender guy with, you know, a leather jacket with spikes and studs going all over the place, and he's got his ripped skinny jeans, he's got the t-shirt, and I think it said, it was some insulting thing to society, I know that much. I can't remember the exact words on the t-shirt, but it was insulting to people. But I loved it. And they're both wearing these big platform chunky boots, and I'm just like staring, and they notice me staring because I'm not too far away from them. I'm just like the distance I might be away from you right now if you were here in my bedroom, which would be kind of creepy. But I'm like kind of right in front of them, and I'm just like gawking, like insert girl. But they're just kind of looking at me like, hi, and they're smiling and they're weaving all politely, but I know in their minds they're like, why is she looking at us? So, you know, I find my senses and I walk over to them, and I'm just like, hi, name's Victoria, and I'm a student at the High School of Fashion Industries, and I was just noticing your outfits, and I think you look really beautiful, and you've really inspired me to create an entire line for this project we're doing in class. And they're like, oh really, that's so super sweet, and all this other stuff. And when I'm talking to these people, they're explaining to me what the style is, because I can't just do a fashion piece on something that I don't know what it is. So I'm like, what put together this outfit? And she's like, well, you know, we're goths. And I'm like, wait, well, repeat that. I'm like, well, we're goths. I'm like, you're what? And I'm just kind of like inching closer. You're what? And she's just like, yeah, we're goths. And she's like explaining to herself, to me, like, I'm Victorian, this style is called Victorian goth. I'm like, there's multiple styles within this thing that you're doing. She's like, it's a subculture. I'm like, oh, it's a subculture. And I'm thinking in my head, what's a subculture? And so, you know, she's giving me a briefing of what goth is and explaining to me that there are many different styles within this, and I'm just like, sitting there and well, not sitting, I'm standing there and I'm looking, and the guy is like nodding his head, you know, agreeing with her, adding in some things, and we're basically having this full-on deep conversation outside of trash and vaudeville. And you know, I'm having like this mind-blowing, universal changing explosion in my head, and everything just kind of clicked. I was like, this is the kind of stuff that I want to design. This is also what I want to look like for the rest of my life. And let's just say a whole new door opened up for me, and it was just at a point where I was about to collapse. I was on the verge of thinking maybe being a fashion designer isn't for me, maybe me. And then I found something that interested me, and I was just like, what other designer, you know, has one particular style but multiple versions of one style? Like, you might be thinking like, hello, every designer? But in lingerie, you can either do angel or devil. I can do, with goth fashion, you have like Victorian, you have steampunk, you have metal, you have all these different styles to create and just like have fun with. And I think that's what called to me most, how much there was. And as I was looking into the fashion, I started to realize that there was more depth to this. Like when I speak of depth, I mean like literature wise and musical, and I noticed some self-connections. And you know, while I was working on the project, I kind of might have started buying clothes that resembled the things that I was drawing, like free-flowing long skirts, the black crop tops, the distressed jeans. Those are the jeans with the holes in them, in case you're wondering, they're distressed. And just, you know, I just found myself dressing like my inspiration. And you know, when it came to labeling what kind of design it was, I thought what I was making would be like a goth kind of casual wear. But when I handed it in, my teacher told me that it was mislabeled and that this was obviously costume wear, and that just kind of hit me somewhere. I'm just like, this isn't, no, it's not costume wear. This is how people actually dress. People actually look like this. And by that time, I was already, you know, full all black everything, and you know, just, I was starting to look like my baby back days, you know, vampires and stuff. So, yeah, that's kind of my inspiration. My introduction to goth was seeing that the two lovely couples, and then researching what it was, and then making a fashion line off of it. That's really how I got started. Fashion, again, was the key to everything, and I just love how I can tell a story and make such kind of like historical connections to the musical world, and just, you know, say, yeah, and you know, this also happened there. Yeah, this was my birthing. Because I was literally reborn on the street on St. Mark's Place, and I don't know, maybe it's just important to me, and it might be stupid to like you guys or something like that, but you know, to me it means a lot, because but yeah, so St. Mark's Place is how I became this lovely creature before you today. Thanks, St. Mark's. If you were a person and you could see me, thanks so much. I feel like such a better person now than the glum lost child that I was before. So yeah, that was my goth experience. But that's all for today, folks. So bye, my little creatures. Bye. I'm just so crazy.